Can you believe Marvel Legends made another Spider-Man?
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Matt and Stu Review, where we take a look at your favorite toys from yesterday and today. Stuart, what do we have on the table?
Today we're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Spider-Man 2, Miles Morales in his Boricua suit.
Wow.
I can't believe I remembered that.
That's quite the mouthful here.
What we have here, though, is another Marvel Legends Spider-Man with a new costume. You know, pretty standard Spider-Man articulation. A pretty interesting and cool costume.
So what, to your knowledge, is like the history of this figure?
I'm pretty sure that he is a variant costume that is available in the new Spider-Man 2 game that's been wildly popular over the last few years. He's actually part of a whole line that consists of those different variant suits, both Peter Parker and Miles Morales. So I don't know that he's ever worn this suit in canon or continuity.
I should know the answer to that question. I don't.
I doubt that he has. I think it's a pretty game-centric design. I love it. I think it's like symbiote Spider-Man meets Captain America, but Puerto Rican. So
Yeah.
it's symbiote Spider-Man meets Captain Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm sort of enamored. Like, this is the first time I've picked up this figure, and just the Spider-Man articulation is like really insane.
Spider-Man figures, I would say, pretty much are my favorite ones to play with because, like, you can also, every pose kind of makes sense because he's flailing through the air.
Right.
Man, their articulation is good on the bodies that they're using for Spider-Man lately. What do you think of his gloves? I know you're or what do you think of his costume in general?
Being a Puerto Rican character designer, this is maybe a little bit up my alley in terms of design. I love the flag. I love the color choices. I love the color placement. I think the gloves are an absolutely horrible choice. Big problem with, I think, anytime you do a variation of Miles Morales is the base costume designed by Sarah Pichelli is so good, everything has to compare to that. The only thing that I think even came close, and maybe did surpass it, was the original Into the Spider-Verse suit with the graffiti spider on the front. Those are the two top tiers. Everything else kind of falls below that. The red gloves by themselves, not going with the fingerless look with the red webbing, or maybe even just some black on the top of the palm.
To me, the red hands feel like a kind of a lazy choice too. Like if you look at a render of the comic book figure or of the character from the game, the red kind of goes in like it peaks up his arm or something. This feels like, hey, we had some of these extra Spider-Man hands around. Let's just stick them on that. Oh shit, we forgot to make black hands. Let's stick those red ones on him.
It screams of that. It actually looks that way to me, that it's just like, okay, well, he has a wrist line, so we'll just throw gloves on it. There's no paint on the webs on the head. It would be really cool even if it was black, maybe a different black.
Yeah.
So like they actually accentuate the fact that there is webbing there. It looks like just a paint over at this point.
I'm of two minds about that. Part of me is like surprised that they didn't just take a smooth black Spider-Man figure that's already made and give him the flag paint and maybe the different hands and call it a day.
Right.
You know, maybe a different paint app on the eyes to give him the red rim. So I have to commend them for actually using a webbed body, and they put a lot of texture on his body and face there. There's even like a finer texture below this sort of bib of blue. I find that impressive. I've seen some people swap a smooth Spider-Man head onto it, which I had thought was the way to go. And actually, I liked this one better, especially because of those eyes. I think the red rim around the white, you know, makes it different. It makes it Miles Morales more than, you know, just like Peter Parker in the black costume.
Following the pattern of the flag, like the overall shape, it does feel like a Miles Morales costume. There's just some, I don't know, laziness to the overall design in general. Yeah, the gloves, man, they're the more you look at it, I think the gloves make it worse.
I haven't looked yet. I'm hoping some of the other symbiote Spider-Man figures that I have will be matched in black colors, and I'll probably just use those hands on him instead because they will look much better.
I feel like it's designed to be fingerless. So it's like the black goes up to a fingerless glove style, and then you have the red webs on just the fingers themselves. So like it kind of looks like he's wearing an outer glove with the webbing underneath it. And that would have helped with the transition, because I think that's really it. It's like there's no transition point. It's just all of a sudden red glove. It's like it doesn't even look like anything special.
One thing I'm noticing now, he came with a web, but does Miles Morales have webs?
He does.
He does.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he had that electrical power instead of actually having webs.
No, he's basically Spider-Man more. Like he has more powers than Peter does. So
Okay.
he can turn
Camouflage,
invisible.
yeah. I would say one last comment that I kind of have about this figure. I think the intent maybe is to have it be a more grown-up Miles Morales. To me, he's like a little adult. Like I prefer the kind of more spindly teenager Miles Morales, and they've done a great job giving us that figure in various forms, over the last few years. So if he didn't have the flag of Puerto Rico on there, I probably wouldn't identify it as Miles Morales. I just think he was another Peter or Ben Riley or something.
Right. Yeah. This is definitely one of those figures that I feel like there's two feelings on it because the overall aesthetic and the idea of like a Puerto Rican flag being put on the character is just so cool to me. Like I'm so happy that this character exists. So there's a lot that I'm finding myself not being able to distance from what the figure is. And it's a Spider-Man figure with great posing. So it's like it's weird. This is a very
Yeah.
weird thing for me. I'm having problems with my brain.
Well, so now I'm thinking too. So we've taken a look on this channel at Spider-Man of India. We've looked at this now, sort of Spider-Man of Puerto Rico, in garb at least. I know that I at least have a Spider-Man UK that's kind of like a beefy Spider-Man with a
Okay.
Union Jack style spider. So like, what nation do you want to see a Spider-Man from that we haven't seen? I want to see Spider-Man Japan.
I want to see the toy animation or like
Uh,
the old Spider-Man TV show.
I think I have that figure.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that
We'll have
needs-
to take a look at it. It'll be my Nat special request.
I love the kind of the Super Sentai Spider-Man. So
Yeah,
to
where
speak,
he's
like,
actually like getting into a big Zord or whatever. A big
yeah,
mecha.
exactly.
So Nat, have you played this Spider-Man 2 game, or what's your experience with Miles?
So I have not played Spider-Man 2. Big fan of the first Spider-Man video game. Just
Fair.
something that's definitely on my list. My experience with Miles really comes from the Spider-Verse series and the kids preschool series called Spidey and His Amazing Friends,
Oh,
where
I've
he's
seen-
great.
I've seen some of that.
It's pretty good, but I love the character. I was really happy the character existed. Obviously, having a Puerto Rican superhero pretty close to me. I have Miles comic books as well, but my real like love for the character came from the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I think is the best comic book movie ever made.
Mine parallels yours. I think I was aware of the character, from Ultimate. He came from the Ultimate Universe originally. Man, they just did a really great job making you fall in love with Miles Morales with those Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse movies, almost in a way that I don't know that they've done with Peter Parker as effectively. So, I'm very endeared to the character. I'm always going to buy a cool looking Spider-Man, put those two together, and I was definitely going to get this guy.
All right, Stuart, what do you think you would give this Miles Morales Gamerverse Boricua Suit Spider-Man?
I'm going to give him a 7, but I feel like that is more. I would give him an 8 if he was just like not another Spider-Man. I have a lot of Spider-Men, so when I'm comparing him and kind of ranking them all together, he's definitely in that top 50%, but he's not in my top. So I'll lift him to an 8. I'm going to give him an 8. Really cool, simple design. Needed different hands. I appreciate the texture on the body. I always love to play with a Spider-Man figure. I can't wait to pit him against some classic Spider-Man foes and take some pictures. So I'm gonna give him an 8. How about you?
I'm really torn. This is one of those I was not looking forward to scoring. Actually, picking him up and taking a look at everything. The paint is really cool. Like it's such a cool look. Again, not being able to distance myself from what he is. This is going to be a 7 for me.
Okay.
And it would have been an 8. Those hands suck. Like it's just as the more we go through it, it's just it feels so cheap. It feels like such a weird decision to not give him like a custom paint on the hands. Like you said, even if it was like that, like some sort of a V line or something up that would just help break it apart.
Yeah.
And I'm still not so sold on the cut of where the neck and the flag end. But I mean, yeah, it's a 7. I mean, it's a good figure. Those hands really don't do it justice.
If we did 0.5s on this, I'd give him a 7.5.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's the way to do it. And we want to hear from you. What video game version of a comic book character do you want to see in plastic?
Thanks for watching, everyone. This has been the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Spider-Man 2 Miles Morales in the Boricua Suit.
If you like toys and reviews like these, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.